An historic eclipse is crossing the northern hemisphere with the moon's shadow sweeping from Russia and Greenland to Spain. Hundreds of thousands of people are gathering along what's called the path of totality, where the moon will briefly completely block out the sun. Francisco Diego is Vice President of the UK's Association for Astronomy Education. Francisco, welcome to the programme. What makes a total solar eclipse such a rare and extraordinary event?
It is something that has come back for thousands of years, really. You can imagine that in the middle of the day, for no apparent reason, the sun is going to disappear from the sky. The most important thing for life on Earth is going to disappear from the sky. And in the past, people didn't know it was going to be for a few seconds, a few minutes, etc., and then it comes back. And but even today, when you look at the total solar eclipse, you are going to be in the path of the shadow of the moon. The shadow of the moon typically has 100 or 200 kilometers in diameter, and it sweeps the landscape at about 2,000 kilometers per second. It's about twice the speed of light. Sorry, twice the speed of sound. And it goes very, very fast. And you see that shadow, that darkness, that kind of black sky coming towards you at that speed. It's really terrifying. Even today, when we know that, I have been in that situation, and I have filmed it with fisheye lenses, and you will see the shadow of the moon coming at that speed. And it is terrifying when the sky goes from day to night in a matter of seconds. It's fascinating. And
I wonder what we should expect to feel as the moon completely blocks out the sun.
What happens is about 5 minutes before totality, you are in the path of the track, in the track of the shadow of the moon. About 5 minutes before totality, you really notice that the sky and the landscape are getting darker and darker, and there are no clouds. There is no reason for that to happen, but you don't realize until you really look at the sun with the special protection that the solar eclipse is taking place. And then in the last few seconds, the darkness comes total. I mean, you are surrounded suddenly, you are surrounded by a twilight all around you, a 360 degree twilight, which is fascinating for a few seconds or for a few minutes.
This eclipse comes as the sun is quite low in the sky over Spain. How could that affect what we actually see?
Yes, it's not a very attractive eclipse from that point of view, because this kind of darkening of the sky happens, well, just before sunset, which is not that spectacular as if the sun was exactly overhead. But and also the risks of clouds in the horizon may prevent the observation of the eclipse. It doesn't seem the case today when we have a beautiful sky here in London. It's going to be clear all the way down to the sunset. So yes, it is at sunset, and it is not ideal situation, but at the same time, it's easier to observe because you are looking like this, not like that, and then you have your special viewers. And then what we see in London is not a total eclipse, but it will be 92% or 91% coverage, which will make the darkening of the landscape quite dramatic as well, as I mentioned before. Not totally, but quite dramatic. And also, given all this, I saw your previous notes about the climate change and about the extremely hot temperatures. Well, during the eclipse, the temperature goes down a few degrees, which is quite refreshing.
And very briefly, we always have to do health and safety. Just give us the very brief advice. You must have special glasses on.
Yes, absolutely. You need special solar viewers that are black polymer, which is special for that. They block mostly the ultraviolet and the infrared radiation. You need to have those. When you put them on in front of your eyes, what you should be able to see is the sun and nothing else. The sky is completely black. So yes, the protection is very important, only when the sun is partially eclipsed. But of course, when it comes the time of totality, in totality, people in Spain, of course, you can look at the eclipse, the solar corona, with no protection. But it's only in those precious moments of totality.